We're so lucky to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's so ironic, undisputed. That's what every fighter wants to
That's true. That's where we took it from.
Oh, I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
And by the way, you still look like you're in good enough shape to box. I don't know how you do it.
To participate. Yeah, you know, I still work out. I still, I do weights, I do Pilates and whatever, but I incorporate boxing because the transformation of training camp is amazing, and you go from here to sharpen your mind and your body, but it's not bulky. But it's like, you know, it's.
Do you spar?
Hell no. That was good.
No time for that.
That's it. I don't worry about that, you know?
Okay.
All right. Well, let's start with Mayweather, because there are rumors that he could fight maybe Pacquiao again, maybe UFC. What do you make of these rumors?
I don't think they're necessarily rumors. I think it's on his mind, the fact that he feels he can still do it. I mean, myself included, we as fighters, we get to a point where is that we watch fights on television and we say, I can beat that guy. Because it's about ego, it's about who you were back in the day. You know?
9-figure payday doesn't hurt either, though, does it?
Oh, that's gives you a little incentive. And that's the case, you know. You can make $1 zillion fighting a guy who's never had boxing gloves on before.
Right.
Like the McGregor fight, you know? It's what it is. It's a spectacle. Only Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather could have pulled those things off. When Ali fought that guy, that wrestler, what was the guy's name? Yeah. Only Ali could have done that. Mayweather could have been. He's the only guy that could have done that, or pulled that off, I should say.
So, at your greatest, were you better than Floyd?
Absolutely. And I'm not saying it because, I'm not bragging, but then again, my mindset as a fighter, as a champion, would always tell me I could beat Mayweather, I could beat Tyson. That's what made me who I became.
Mayweather is a counterpuncher. So how would you, okay, you got to fight Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather. How do you fight him? Because against Tommy Hearns, you took the fight to him because he was standing on the outside and he was touching you.
Right.
Marvin Hagler, you stayed around and the last 10, 15 seconds of the fight, you steal the round. So how do you fight Floyd Mayweather?
There's no one way to fight Floyd Mayweather. He is that good. He's that talented. You walk in there with a plan, but to execute it takes time. In other words, you got to feel yourself. You got to feel him out, and see what he goes for. Body shots. I mean, Floyd. No one could penetrate his defense. I mean, he's one of the best guys out there. But I would say body shots. But then, you know, it's so hypothetical. I feel kind of awkward talking about, you know, it's...
Well, do you see a weakness in his game at all?
I don't see a weakness that anyone could penetrate. I don't see him being beaten by anyone. You know what I love about Floyd is the fact that he believed in himself so much. And that's a major part of being a world champion, like Muhammad Ali. He believed, he talked trash, but he backed it up. He may have been too defensive, but I don't think so. But he fought his fight with everybody.
You say you go into the ring with a plan. Was it your plan to fight Hearns the way you fought him? Was it your plan to fight Hagler the way you fought him? You say you go in there and, okay, obviously you watch tape, you know what you're good at, you know what he's good at, and you say, you know, you got to fight, you know, figure out what he's good. But watching the fight with Hearns, there's no way that I thought you would get into a slugfest with Tommy Hearns. He had dynamite, especially in that right. But you said, this is the only way I can beat him.
Tommy Hearns was, I mean, I have vivid memories of Tommy Hearns, and he was such a freak of nature. I mean, Tommy was tall.
The reach for the welterweight.
And like you said, power in both hands, right? And he was determined. But I kind of choreographed the fight. I kind of break things down in a bit. But it all came down to heart. Heart and perseverance. I mean, I think about these guys, the Haglers, the Hearns, the Duran, and sometimes I sweat, just because I can relive those moments. Now, as I'm 62, but my mind still tells me I can beat anyone. And it's going to always be that way.
Okay, let me ask you this. You said Floyd's defense is impenetrable. Are you saying that in his prime, or are you saying that now? Because I don't think he's the same fighter now. Because I saw Conor McGregor get some shots on him that didn't. He never really been in a boxing match. That these guys, Earl Spence and some of these guys now, they touch Floyd like Conor touched him. He's going to sleep.
It's a different story, no question about it. You explained that very well, because McGregor, his punches were not. I mean, was not executed properly.
Right.
And although he hit
hammer fist.
on the hammer fist, but those Earl Spence. I mean, those guys, Earl Spence. I mean, those guys are so talented, so much more, and it's a whole different ball game of youth and talent, natural talent.
Right.
Certain things you can't teach.
Right.
You could teach them jab, right hand, hook, but you can't teach them to what to do when you get knocked down.
Right.
Because that comes here, and it's intuitive.
Right.
It's intuitive to learn how to get up.
Right.
When I first got knocked down, the first thing I want to do is get back up. And rushing to get back up, your equilibrium is thrown off, and you, as opposed to taking a second, taking a second, get up, compose yourself, look at the referee, and say, I'm okay.
So you fought in some of the greatest boxing spectacles ever, and I attended most of them. And they were great theater because you were great theater. And you did win those fights with your head and your heart, maybe more than the talent that was across from you. But now we've degenerated to, I was excited about Pacquiao and Mayweather finally fighting whenever it was. It seems like forever ago.
It was forever.
But now I'm not excited about them fighting as 40-somethings. I'm done with it because it seems like it passed both of them by. Would you watch it if they fight again?
For free.
Yeah, for free. You wouldn't pay for it.
No, the thing about it, I mean, 40-ish, I mean, it's kind of over. It's really over. I mean, I went into the ring. My last fight was against Hector Camacho. I was 40 years old. But I was a conditioned 40-year-old. But what happens when you get hit, after being out of the ring for so long, get hit, that hurts now as you get older, as we get older, because we don't understand the impact that it makes. I mean, it sounds like it be a little screwy, but the mind is everything. The mind and the heart. Because when I was younger, I fought with conviction.
Right.
As I got older, I was like, I hit you, but don't hit me back.
Right. Could you see the punches as well when you got in your 40s?
No.
Because that's what I tell people, like, even in missing training, when, you have the off season, coming back, now all of a sudden I had to build up my, what I call spidey senses to know where the hit was coming from. So now you take time off, you hadn't fought in 2-3 years. Now you have to all of a sudden, okay, where is this punch coming from?
I could feel the punch.
Okay.
I don't necessarily see the punch. I can feel it, and I could just move just away, just shy.
Right.
Just to make it go by.
Right.
And I tell you, it's amazing. It's more cerebral than people can imagine.
Right.
So does it make you sad at all that your sport has sort of degenerated into Conor versus Floyd and what's left of Manny versus Floyd?
I'm not necessarily proud of that, or happy with that, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Hey, the guys made $1 zillion, and but it does to a degree. It helps both sports.
Right.
Bring it back.
Does?
It does.
But what about the heavyweight? Boxing is still about the heavyweights. What if we were to get Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua? Can we make this fight happen? And if it did happen, who do you like?
That fight has to happen. That fight has to happen. These two guys have different styles, no question about that. Wilder is a big guy and tall, strong. And I love watching him because he doesn't throw straight punches. His punches come like woo. And if it just grazes you, you're knocked out.
Right.
But
you know what? When I'm watching fight, Sugar Ray, he only gets wild with the looping punches once he gets the guy in trouble. If you watch if you watch him fight, he's really now he's not technical like Joshua because Joshua was the super heavyweight. He won the gold medal.
Right.
So obviously he's a fundamentally sound boxer, more skilled of a boxer than Wilder. but I believe somebody's going to sleep in this fight.
Oh, no question about it. Yeah.
Hey, somebody.
I'm so upset right now. You sound so much more educated than boxing. We're talking about sport. But you are so right. You are so right. Because Joshua is fundamentally sound.
Yes.
You know, and that's a good fight. That fight should be made.
But the thing with Josh, go ahead, Skip, go ahead.
Well, we did see Triple G and Canelo for a second
Yes.
time, and I thought Triple G won that fight and got robbed because I thought he dominated the fight. You know, again for a second time. How did you see it?
Those fights. You know, those fights are so close. It's so subjective.
Right.
You know, and it depends on who you ask. I mean, you can ask 20 people, and then you get 20 different answers. You know.
And your answer was what?
Canelo.
Really? Because?
I just thought that again, this is my perception because I'm saying he controlled the fight. Wasn't as much action as we wanted to see. Like it's like when I fought Duran the second time. I did the right thing, fought the right way. Yeah.
You didn't get caught up in that ego thing, like.
this thing can get you out of trouble, but it can get you in a lot of trouble. You know? No, in all facets.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, that fight was close. It was very, very close.
You want to see a three-peat? You want to see a trilogy?
Yeah, there should. In fact, you know what? I'm so sad. Well, not totally sad, but I didn't fight Tommy Hearns earlier because we came back for our second fight, which I thought he won the fight. Right. I told you guys that, didn't I? Son of a bitch. But but you know, I mean, boxing is my life, man, and so these challenges, these controversial fights, I'm all about that, man. I get involved. I get involved so much, and I take it to heart.
You do.
I do take it to heart, man.
Oh, this has been so interesting.
Yes, it was.
But before you go, will you tell us about your foundation briefly?
10 years now.
Yeah,
We're going 10 years. And, you know, I tell you, it's all about me giving back. I'm a blessed man. I've been a fighter for, 50 years? 50 years I've been punching people around. And I just want to give back. And with my foundation, with B. Riley and Company, I got people that step forward and make a difference in someone's life, you know?
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to fight Skip.
You know what?
Oh, boy.
For the right amount of money, we could arrange that.
You sure?
I think people would watch that.
Yeah. So what should we have next? Should it be like a interest paper form?
You call it. I don't know.
I call you, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You're welcome to come
Get it
back
from me, Sugar Ray.
anytime.
Hey, I can
Sure,
go
hey,
12
thank
rounds.
you.
No, we're not going 12 rounds.
Oh, no?
We're going 5.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Love the stories.